Welcome everybody to GutsyHunterTV. Glad to have you here with me, and we're going to go ahead and start our new adventures of the hunter called the Wild. While I'm not new to this game, you may be new to it. It did just recently release out on Epic Games, so we may have a new player base coming into us. So I thought I'd go ahead and put together a new series of let's do some missions, but also tutorials as we move along through the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm a huge fan of the Remy Warren. So we'll go ahead and get started on the beginning lake, which is Leighton Lakes. But I have all the DLC, so we'll manage to make our way through all of those. So don't fret. The game is robust. It does come with a very good tutorial up front. So we'll go through probably the first 3 missions in this first video.
You made it here in one piece. Welcome to the Untamed Wild. Name's Colton Locke, but everyone calls me Doc. I'm the warden up here, and I know just about every nook and cranny of this place. I heard this is your first time in the Pacific Northwest and Lake District. Well, this here's the best hunting reserve you'll find in 100 miles. I've been hunting here my whole life, and I still don't get tired of this place.
I know Colton's going to talk here again.
Look around. There's a lot to discover around here. Not just the big game. Let's see what you can do. Try to find an animal track around here.
All right, so right at the beginning, you get our first mission, which is to track down and harvest our first animal. So we'll go ahead and accept that. Push the enter key on the keyboard. And there it leaves our hunter mate in our hand if we choose to leave it that way. I am going to switch my inventory around so the way I normally play. So give me just a moment here. And we don't use the row color. So these are the defaults. So you come with a 243, 8x42 binoculars, the Caversham Stewart 12 gauge, and the Folkso, 357. You also start with a roe deer. There are no roe deer on this map, so we'll go ahead and put that away. Then we have our bleak collar and our jackrabbit collar. The bleak collar for deer, and then jackrabbits is a predator, as it says, but on this map, mainly you're going to use that for calling in coyotes. So let's go ahead and control will allow you to crouch down. Now, while I can spot this deer now, it's not going to do us any good because they want us to go ahead and find a track, preferably first. So what I like to do is I like to kind of sneak around the side here and try to get as broadside as we can on her.
Use your binoculars to get a closer look.
Now, the advantage to this is if we don't find a track, we can, once we shoot the deer, obviously she's going to create tracks for us so we can follow those. That'll give us that first objective there on the mission. You can scroll in and out, zooming wise with your scroll wheel on your mouse. So let's go ahead and keep moving here. The other reason I'm not walking is it does create additional noise. Down below in the lower right, you can kind of see the compass there with a green cone. The green cone is showing the direction that the wind is currently blowing. So we are currently walking into the wind, which masks our scent. The other items that you see there, you'll see that there's a heartbeat. And then next to that heartbeat is an eye. And right now, you can see when I stop moving, it goes to kind of a half moon. It means we're in partial cover, but we can still be seen fairly easily. If I move into a tree here, you can see it almost disappears. That means we're in full coverage. And full coverage is the greatest advantage you can have when you're hunting. If you are stalking an animal or getting ready to ambush it, it would be probably more appropriate. Being in full coverage allows the animal to almost get up to you within, I believe it's less than 10 meters before they get spooked. So always keep that in mind. You can see out here, when I'm moving, I'm fully visible. The eye turns to a full open. That's what you want to avoid. So
calls are really helpful when locating an animal.
You can spot the call over that way by looking at it, pushing E. We're going to see where's our little... There she is. Okay. We'll go ahead and take a shot on her. I'm going to stand up, scope in.
Be sure to aim for its vital organs.
Aim behind the shoulder.
Shots mean quicker kills, less painful.
So that should have been a vital hit. We'll go take a look just to make sure, but it should have been a vital hit for us. Yep, it was. You can tell by the amount of blood that's on the ground right there. And when I pick up this track, it'll go ahead and give us that first objective there. There we go. So now if we look at our hunter mate, you can see now what you need to do is just harvest that animal. So we're going to go ahead and follow her tracks here. I heard another deer over there. So you can see she's got a medium bleed rate. When you start out, you have skill points that you'll earn as you increase your level. So at the very beginning here, we don't currently have, unfortunately, anything in any of our skill points. So
you want to get your bearings. There are lookout points spread out all over the reserve.
So you can see here, this is what we call the harvest screen. You can see that this was a female, 40 kilograms, was a common fur type. We only tracked her for 36 meters. Our difficulty was only 1. When it comes to the deer, that's typical what you'll see with the females. There's no trophy rating on them with the females of the deer species. So we didn't get any ranking, but we did meet in all of our checks that we needed, which was to use proper ammo. We shot the animal 2 times or less. We kept if there was trophy organs, in this case, they were left intact. And we hit 1 vital organ, which in this case was the left lung, you can see over here. So for that, we got 80 experience points. We got 458 cash and a session experience. This doesn't apply to anything right now with the exception of when you're in multiplayer. You can see we used the 243. We used a soft point bullet. We shot her at a distance of 40 meters and a weapon score of 36.67. That comes in handy here in just a second. I'll show you that. So once again, it was a flesh left lung shot, and she went down at 100%. So we're going to go ahead and accept that harvest. We're not going to taxidermize it, or we're not going to say the harvest. It's not worth it. So we'll accept that. So then we'll get our next mission here in just a second. So you can see a bunch of those balloons popping up at the top there. So we completed that mission, which gave us $1,000 cash on top of the amount of money that we got for harvesting the animal, as well as some additional experience points. So let me go ahead and show you real quick what that really means for us. So in our profile card, you can see our weapon scores right here. As you continue to harvest animals, depending on which weapon you use, whether it be a rifle, handgun, shotgun, or archery, you'll see that you'll get points, and those will keep accumulating. Those points is what is needed to upgrade your gear and have the ability to purchase additional weapons and items as you go along. So we'll go to our next mission, which in this case is to the lookout point. You can see up on the hill right there, that structure right there. That's the lookout. That's where we're heading. So we'll go ahead and, let me explain hunting pressure as well. So when you harvest an animal, or an animal goes down, you'll see that it creates a purple outline. The more animals you kill in that same area, the deeper or the brighter the color will become. Eventually, it'll become a brighter purple on the second kill, and then the third kill will become even more of a pinkish purple color. Now, when you start getting into that level, you'll start if you have need zones in that area, and you get that third kill, you'll actually delete that need zone. And I'll explain that later in probably another episode. But for now, that just kind of gives you an idea and understanding of what's going on there. But let's go ahead and keep on moving through here.
There's times when you'll want to be moving fast out here, but not when on a hunt. The animals will hear you coming a mile away.
So going back to the lower right again, you can see we're in a full circle. So we are completely exposed to anything that's out in the open who could see us right now if they wanted to. So let's go ahead and give it a quick glass. Usually you'll see deer over here in the breaks a little bit. Not at this moment. So, but anyway, go back to the lower right. So that heart, if I were to run, which is holding down the shift key on the keyboard, you'll start to see that it's going to start going up. It'll start beating faster and faster and faster. Now, the disadvantage to that is if you're running and all of a sudden you get a call or you see an animal that you want to try to take a shot on, and your heart's beating too fast, it's going to cause a big wobble. You're not going to be able to hold your breath as long to get a steady shot. You can start seeing now it's beating more rapidly. Now, if I slow down, it'll eventually go down after I stop and start walking. Until we had another deer up here. But the speaker icon that you see is the noise that we're making. So you can see if I stop, it goes quiet. If we crouch, it creates less noise. If we crawl, go to crawl, you can see we create no noise. So different stances, different vegetation and terrain will cause different amounts of... So if I come into this taller grass, you'll see that we'll probably get a red here. Maybe not here. Anyway, the louder, obviously, the more hash marks, tick marks, you see it turn red there for a second. So the more hash marks you have and the more red they are, the louder you are, the further your sound carries and the further the animals can hear you. So there's a bear. 243 is probably not the best weapon to take out a bear. Just because there's not enough penetration behind it. You'd have to almost get... let's see, how far away is he? Just out of curiosity, let's see. So he is about 100 meters away from us, 105 to be exact. So he's feeding there. So we got a need zone. So what that means is we go back to the map here real quick. So when you find an animal's need zone, whether it be a food zone, a water zone, or a sleeping area, you'll get these icons on your map here, the leaf icon. And if I hover over it, you can see that this area, black bears will come in between 4:30 a.m. and 8:30 in the morning. So if you're ever needing to do bear hunt and you have a... I don't know if he's going to stand up. Oh, he's going to go back to eating. He's nervous, but he'll probably stand up here in just a second. There he goes. I don't think...
Gentle now. Take a deep breath.
I can see how the wobble... The longer you hold your breath also, the more wobble you'll get. I think he's going to back off now.
It's bleeding.
I was trying to get a hard shot on it, but didn't quite get it there.
Shouldn't have gone far.
We'll see if he goes down eventually. He may not, depending on how much, if we got a vital hit or not. So let's, we'll go up here and take a look real quick. But that's why I was saying you don't want to use a 243 because more times than not, it's not going to be a vital hit for you, and he's just going to run off, be all ticked off for the rest of the night. So he's still making noise up there. Not a happy camper. So you can see up there in the top that it's a black bear, but he's black bears are considered level 7 game, and we're using a weapon that's good for 2 through 6, I believe. So let's see, where did we take that shot at? So right over here somewhere. There's the need zone. Yeah, so this looks like this is where we get it.
You know,
so you can tell.
Some tracks earlier, close to where you're at right now. I'll send the coordinates.
So, although that says bleed rate very low, so let's go back and see where the initial impact was at here. Oh, right there. So it does look like we managed to get a vital hit. So we must have hit one of the lungs. So typically he will go down. Yep. So he will go down. he may have already gone down. Yep, he went down. So we'll go track him here in a second. We have a doe calling us over here. So, and then you'll see these throughout the map too. You see this stone right here. These are what we call point of interest. Every map has them. They may be built a little differently depending on what map you're on, but we'll go interact with it. Sometimes there's a little history about an area. In this case, though, there's actually a little clue about something that we could find. If we go to the closest outpost, there's a note, but it says, whoever you are, walk in peace, go north, find the outpost, you can't miss the curious tombstone. So if you go into the tombstone area, you'll find there's a item there. We'll go see that here in just a little bit. I just wanted to see if that deer was popping up. All right, let's go ahead and track our bear down here real quick. We're still on the main mission, which is to get up to that outpost up there. Oh, there we go. It's a decent buck. I can't pass that one up. He's injured. He's going to go running off too. All right. Let's go ahead and reload our weapon. I like to not have only 2 rounds left in case I need to do quick shots. So let's get our bear first, then we'll come back and we'll track that deer. So actually he went down already, so let's put the waypoint there. Now in this case, since we've already got 2 animals down, I'm not worried about making too much noise. So we're going to go ahead and just run through here and track our animal.
Careful. The underbrush can be a bit noisy this time of year. If an animal hears you approaching, you better believe it'll turn tail and run. Or worse.
There's our black bear.
Look at that. Your first reserve trophy. Go ahead and harvest it.
So we got lucky there. We got left lung, you can see. And we were quite a bit lower than the heart. Probably about 3 inches, it looks like. So you can see this is a male. I was 174.96 kilograms, common for type. We tracked him for 203 meters. He was in 5 medium. Bears have the ability to get up to level 9 legendary status. So in this case, you can see since it was a male, the trophy type is the skull, and the organs are the skull. Trophy organs. So you can see this rating was an 18.6. So he wasn't, he wouldn't have been a gold. He would have been a silver for sure. But the reason we got a bronze is you can see down here that the ammo that we used was improper. We didn't get a skill check in that because we used 243 ammunition against a higher level class 7 animal. So, but we did get 106 experience. We got 759 cash for that. Once again, the root all stays the same. It looks like we shot him at 92 meters and we got him in the left flank. So we'll go ahead and accept that. And you can see we got our first level up. So before we do anything with the level up, we're going to go ahead and grab our deer over here as well. And I'm heading back to where we did the initial sighting so we can get the blood trail here real quick. You can hear there's another bear that just called off into the distance over there. So definitely, if you can, try to avoid shooting animals with the improper ammo type because it does cost you in the long run. Especially if you've been tracking like a diamond animal for a while and... Ooh, that wasn't as good as a shot as I thought it was. Oh no, it's a medium blood rate. Okay. Where was the initial hit then? Oh, I thought it was right there in the open, but I guess not. Anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get this track. So we'll follow him up here. He shouldn't be too far away. The medium bleed rate, he should be basically just across the tracks here. Yep, right there he is. You can see that's a pretty decent, nice white-tailed deer. Let's see what we got with him. So we actually got a gold with him. He was 89.41 kilograms, just a common. White-tailed deer, I personally have not seen any threes. So usually a diamond is going to be rack type based or antlers, as you can see here. We managed to get all of our checks in this case. Also, we got 191, 646 cash. And then we hit him with the flesh right lung. So you can see that was a pretty good shot. Sunk it right in there, right through the upper shoulder meat and right into the lung there. How far off was he? So you can see that a diamond would have been 255. So he was a good 30, more than 30 points difference there. So and we've got animals running up on us now here. So another thing you can do if you hit your third mouse wheel when you have a scoped weapon, you can take that scope off. You can get a close range look down your sights if you need to. Trying to figure out which way these deer are coming at me from. They want to go back to their need zone over there. So they're trying to figure out a way to do that. So we'll let them kind of meander through here and see what happens. I did see another buck with them. Looks like they scooted off. All right, good. So with that, we'll head up here to the... So you can see from this very start now we've had a bear and we've got a white-tailed buck. And then we had our initial interaction with the doe for the first part of the tutorial here. So the nice thing about this as well, about the hunter called the Wild, is that you can do missions if you choose to. Each map has its own kind of storyline. And each storyline also comes with some side quests as well. So, but a lot of us also will just jump into multiplayer maps and we'll just go out and run around and do some hunting. Or so it's a great opportunity to become familiar with those in the community. Just go out and have fun. Or if you just want to go do a solo hunt, you can do that as well. So a lot of advantages to doing those type of things. So let's go ahead and get on up here real quick. Normally, I wouldn't necessarily run through this, but since we're doing this as a tutorial, we'll kind of go through this quickly. So normally you wouldn't necessarily want to take this as fast, only because you'll spook all kinds of animals. So I don't know if you saw when I was running up these stairs, you see how that increases that sound there. Every once in a while we'll get a little extra red bar in there. So that sound carries out. So outlooks provide you kind of before I hit it, so you can see what to look at here, which is indicated by the binoculars. So you can see they're all throughout the map. Very important to get these because it kind of opens up the map and shows you what's nearby you as far as structures and potential points of interest or hunting stands that you can kind of find as you're working your way through the map. So let's go ahead and hit it here.
Would you look at that view? Never gets old, I'm telling you. From up here, you can see a lot of great hunting spots in the area. Valmont's not only where Hope set up camp, it's also famous for the railroad bridges along the old North Pacific line. Keep an eye out for them if you can in between blacktail hunting. Or why not use them as vantage points? I once bagged a whitetail from the Runaki Bridge. Be sure to stop by one of the outposts. You can find pretty much anything you need there.
All right, so you can see that by picking this up, we managed to open up quite a bit more, a lot of question marks, and that just simply means these are undiscovered items. But here are these little house icons. These are outposts. So what we'll do, the outpost, remember the point of interest that we picked up just a minute ago? It's actually referring to this outpost right here instead of this one. But we're going to go ahead. This one's closer. We'll pick up that one first. And then, and these, you can go into these outposts. Some missions will have you pick something up in them. Usually when there are, usually when there's clues about a new map or something like that, you'll find evidence in these areas. So keep your eyes always open. You never know. Never know what'll be in there. And with the imminent release of the Mississippi map coming up, then you want to make sure that things are going smoothly for you here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll accept this mission here. And then we'll go back. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is mark it on our map. Just so we can see the old mark where we had the deer. So you see how the difference in purple? So this was just one kill. But you can see we had that bear and that deer overlap each other. You see how it turned into kind of a brighter purple? If we had shot one more animal right there, that would kind of turn into a kind of a bright pink. And either one or both of those need zones potentially would have been lost. So let's go ahead and head on over here. And let's see what we can do. We can find something along the way here. To bring up your, I should have said that at the beginning, to bring up your binoculars to look down through them, it's just a right click, hold the right click on it. So. There's something down below us here. Anyway, you see these areas that are lit up here? These are need zones as well. So this one, we'll see what this belongs to here. You just walk up to it. So you can see that's a white-tailed jackrabbit. So their feed zones are from 7 to 10:30. So that's probably what I heard down here below us was a jackrabbit. And because they're a class level 1, I believe, you want to make sure you use class level 0 or well, there's no class level 0 weaponry. Class level 1 weaponry in ammo if you're going to harvest them. Because even though they're small little creatures, they actually do have a rating system, and you can actually potentially get diamonds off of them. So, oh, there's a Yodi right there. Now, we can try so I can show you. That's not the call. So that's the call for the predator caller. I'm trying to get down to this tree here. I don't know if we'll be able to call him out into the open enough to take a shot, but we can try. Coyotes are pretty timid animals. Their sight and sound abilities is pretty high up there, so we'll tuck in under this tree here and see if we can get him to come out. Sounds like he's above us. Hopefully you guys can hear that, the little crunchy, crackling sounds. This could be those rabbits too. Also, in the beginning, you always want to just shoot everything. Your goal at that point is just to get some kills, get some money, so you can start buying items. Um, then as you progress through levels, of course, you can be more selective on your hunts. But not seeing him anywhere. Give him just another moment to come out if he does. If not, we'll get on over here to the. Oh, that was something crackling up there. Well, he was fairly close to us. I don't think he's going to come out, though. I think he may be above us up there. Yep, I don't think he is going to make it out here to us. All right, let's not waste any more time then. But that would be the typical, how you would approach the ambush. Yeah, he's up top there. That's okay. You can stay up there, Mr. Yodi. We can hunt you another day. So. As you can see, there's dynamic weather on the game, too. So we've had some sunny weather. Now we've got some fog moving in. And it's probably going to rain here soon. We've got some rain clouds above us. One of the new DLCs allows you to go ahead and you can pick up a dog for tracking purposes as well. That's personal preference. I don't use one. Sometimes the dog can become more of a hindrance than a help. But other people really enjoy using the dog for tracking. And there are times, I guess, it is pretty useful, but you'll see me typically, if you watch the videos, I usually won't have the dog with me. So this is our first outpost. The first thing we have to do when we arrive on site here is we have to claim the outpost. So that's just done by walking up to the flagpole here and we interact with it.
Nice place, right? You won't find a soft bed in many parts around here. Don't forget to stock up before heading out.
Okay, so that's one of the clues there. He's going to go ahead and talk about Hope here in just a second. So since he's done, then I'll continue on. Okay, well, maybe he's not going to do it right away. I'll show you that here in just a moment.
You know that guy I mentioned earlier, Hope? Well, looks like he's been having a bit of a problem lately. He's been camping out over at Balmont a couple weeks, but coming back last night, he found his camp turned on its head. Some food was taken, and apparently the place looked like it had been really messed with. I don't know if it was an animal or some tourist troublemakers, but I'm up in Topeka all day and can't look into it. Listen, I know you probably have other plans, but you're in the right neck of the woods, and I'd sure be grateful if you could just stop on by and have a look.
All right, so we got the mission there for Hope. Anyway, back to what we were talking about here. So if you walk into...
Hope showed up here 2 years ago. Said something about getting off the grid. I heard he lost his family in an accident while he was deployed overseas in the Army. Hit the poor guy hard. I guess out here you only need to look out for yourself. It's easier that way. Not the most cheerful fella, to be honest, but he's earned his peace for sure. Let's find out whoever did this.
All right, I think he's done talking now for a moment.
If you ever need a place to rest,
Guess not.
there's a cabin in each outpost. I had them gutted and redone last season.
All right, Doc, let us continue here. So you can see there also sometimes will be clues to new maps and stuff, items that you'll find in here. Some missions will have you pick up things within here, but the most important thing about this is you can come here and rest. And the resting feature allows you to change the time of the day. So if you're specifically hunting a particular animal and you need to adjust that, you can come into one of your outposts. Allows you to quick travel as well, but you can travel to to one of these, change the time, and then go back to your hunt. Now you do have to be careful. The initial cost to do that is $250. If you use this continuously within a short amount of time, that cost does increment greatly. So just be cautious on when you use it. So we'll come out here now, and now we'll head to our storage area. So the storage area is where you're going to go ahead and your locker will contain all your items that you could purchase. So this kind of goes back into what we were talking about earlier on our scorecard. So let me go ahead and back out real quick and go to our scorecard again. Sorry. So remember how we were saying, so we got 85 points now in our rifle. So if I look here, as you see that 85 is translated into our rifle score here. So, but we need a total of 280 points in order to purchase the 223. So make sure you guys keep an eye on that. Every item has a weapon score. You'll see some of these are free. These are DLCs items. I could purchase this right now without costing me anything or having a score needed on these particular items. But you can see the Rhino 454. We'd have to have a handgun score of 3,243. Also, though, your ammo is also tied to your scores. So if we wanted to use 270 ammo polymer tips, we'd have to get 1,066. Same with the rifle sights, any of your sights, I should say. Lures are the same. So your collars are level based. So you can see here, in order to get the antler rattler, which would be good for fallow deer, reindeer, caribou, lesser kudu, gemsbok, and black buck. So nothing on this map, but you can see we'd have to be level 5 in order to purchase it. But we could purchase the Axis deer screamer, which we already have. The duck collar, we could purchase that. And these other ones you can see, you have to be certain levels to pick those up. Scents are the same thing. They're level based. And decoys are just what cost money. So you don't have any level. Consumables, first aid kits, you got to be at least level 9 before you can start buying first aid kits. Outfits, while they look nice, actually serve no purpose. They don't provide any additional camouflage. They don't really, what they do, they do provide an atmosphere effect for you. So backpacks allow you to give you additional carrying capacity. However, there's quite a bit of downfall to it. You also make additional noise as well as your visibility is increased. So most of us, you'll see, we never use backpacks just for that reason. So going to the store, let's see, let me go to storage. We're not going to use these guns. So let's just go ahead and take them out. You can see that when I remove something, our total carrying capacity goes down. So it looks like we can carry 20. It's probably it could be pounds, but it might be kilograms as well. Doesn't really say. I mean, it's probably kilograms only because everything else right now is in meters. So, man, let's put that away. We don't have any turkeys on this map, so I'm not going to worry about taking that. We do have whitetail So I'm going to go ahead and I'll bring this with us. And then let's go ahead and go back to the store. Now, what I could wind up doing is using the DLCs, but I think for the first few videos, I'm just going to go ahead and treat this as if I don't have DLCs. So Latent Lakes is a map that comes with the core game. So, but what we'll do is we'll kind of progress naturally through here. So the game does give you, if I go back to my storage, you'll see the game does give us a 270. So you don't have to worry about purchasing that. So you really, the first purchase that you're going to want to save up for as far as a rifle is going to be the 7mm. And so that allows you to go ahead and take bigger games. So if we go down here to the ammo, you'll see the scores I was kind of mentioning earlier, or the classes. So we're using the 243 soft points. They are free, so you don't have to pay for them to get stock back up. But you can see the recommended class here is 2 to 6. So we shot that bear earlier, which was a level class 7. That's why we didn't get our full checks on all that, is because we used a class 6 weapon, basically. So, but if you go down to, let's see, the 7mm. So the 7mm. So the soft tip is a 49, but also so is the polymer tip. The difference between a soft point and the polymer, you'll be able to see here. So you can see a soft point, you don't really have a lot of penetration, but you do have a lot of expansion. So if you were to imagine a hollow point, when the bullet hits the target, it mushrooms out, basically. Whereas this, when we go to a polymer tip, you can see you get a lot more penetration, but not as much expansion. So you get further into the target, able to penetrate more vital organs, whereas the mushroom effect may hit one organ, but it's going to do damage to that one organ. So that's really the difference. You can see the effective range really is about this, is the same, actually. So 150 meters. So really, they would say you wouldn't want to necessarily shoot anything over 150 meters, but your effectiveness is good up to that 150 meter mark. So, all right, with that being said, let's go ahead. I don't think, let's see, how much is that bow when we get to it? So we need $6,000. So we're almost there. So things that you want to save up for, if you're into archery, you definitely want to save up for the Razorback Light. That's a 60-pound bow. Later on, you can get the 70-pound bow. So just keep that in mind. That one does require a bow score, whereas this one only just requires money. Definitely you'll want to start saving up for a shotgun, especially if you're going to be doing duck hunting. Let's see where we're at. These are all DLCs. So the first, so I guess really the only one you can get without expansion or DLCs is going to be the Cactigore, but that one is actually part of one of the maps. That is a DLC. So technically, I guess it is a DLC, but so you do get the Caversham 12 gauge. So just when you are able to and you're able to unlock it, you need to get the 12 gauge birdshot. So the way to do that would be to go ahead and use buckshot on, you can see the kind of the animals that it allows for. So coyotes, deer, boar, wolves, it looks like. So once you got up to your 280 there, you could definitely go ahead and start picking up the birdshot, which allow you to hunt rabbits, but mainly ducks as well and things like that. Buckshot, or sorry, slugs are going to be for your bigger animals. So you can see like elk and bear and moose. So keep that in mind. If you're after those, you could definitely use your shotgun, but you got to be very close. You can see the effective range is only 50 meters. So I think that is everything in here that we wanted to discuss. So let's go ahead and talk about skill points. We go ahead and get out of here. Oh, let me show you how this works too. So I know some people get confused. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, for demonstration purposes, we'll do the 22 just because I don't typically use it on this map. So I'm going to select the 22. I prefer the wood stock because it just looks prettier. So let's say you buy your weapon, right? You go to storage. You want to make sure you bring it into your inventory. If you don't, when you come out of here and you go actually into your inventory and you go to weapons. So if I hadn't moved it over, it would not appear here. So you always want to make sure that you just make sure that when you go into your storage after you purchase something, that you put it in your inventory so that it's available to you. So I'm going to move that out just so we don't take that with us. So with that, everybody, that really covers the first 3 missions of the tutorial. We are done with the tutorial now. So what we'll do is on the next video, we'll go ahead and I will show you the cemetery and the special item that's there. We'll pick up that outpost, and then we'll go ahead and head over to Hope's Camp and finish that mission as well. So, but everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the love and support with this new channel launch. I hope you guys will enjoy the community and continue checking out the videos. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop me a like and hit that subscribe button. That really helps me out in the algorithms of things. Also, we have a community Discord, and that link will be down below in the description, so make sure to tune in for that as well. But thank you guys again for the love and support, and until next time. Take care.